Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. I've been working on a lot of Warframe builds recently, and I was really looking forward to making a really good Excalibur build in particular, and that's because Excalibur is one of my favorite Warframes. I made a video talking about my top 5 favorite Warframes, and in that video I said Excalibur is my second most favorite Warframe in the game, which is still true to this day. When I first started playing the game, I picked Excalibur, despite the fact that he had badass abilities and he was a really good Warframe. Once I got to Steel Path, my build was really not the best with him. After a while, I just kind of put him away and said, I'm gonna come back one day and make a really good build. And with all the stuff that's out in Warframe now, I feel like there are many ways you could make an Excalibur build, but this build in particular is so fucking fun to me, because with this build, I'm mainly using the Exalted blade for my attacks, and I'm pairing the weapon with the melee influence arcane, which is an absolute goated arcane. And on top of that, this is my very first build with melee influence that's like a proper melee influence build. And ever since the arcane came out, I always wanted to make one, and the fact that it's on one of my favorite Warframes of all time is just sick. The whole point of this build is to have Exalted Blade active and then just run around swinging, hacking, slashing, and killing things with the sword itself, with the first ability, with the melee projectile from the actual attack, whether that be a normal attack where I'm just running around holding melee, or whether I do a heavy attack. And obviously, in order to use heavy attacks efficiently nowadays, you gotta have a Tennokai mod, which is exactly what I got on this build. And overall, the way the build just comes together is so fucking badass, so I really wanted to make a video on it, because this is the Excalibur build I always wanted back in the day, but I could never make because I was trash at the game. Running around Steel Path missions with Excalibur and having the Exalted Blade active the whole time and literally just holding E as I cook through missions is so fucking satisfying. And if you've never tried to build like this, then I highly recommend it. I'm not saying this is the best Excalibur build in the game or anything like that. I wouldn't even know what that looked like, to be honest. All I know is this build works pretty damn good for me, so feel free to let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments. This isn't necessarily one of those builds that goes for damage cap and super high damage numbers. For me, this is just simply an add clear build. All I do is swing my Exalted Blade and everything that gets hit by the electricity proc dies. And if it doesn't die, it dies from the second swing, you know what I mean? And if it doesn't die from the second swing, it's gonna die from the heavy attack, or the first ability, or the combination of all these attacks. And using all these attacks, by the way, especially like back to back, just makes me feel absolutely badass. The fact that my Excalibur build is hidden like this is pretty damn nice, because even though we're not doing like 50 million plus damage every single swing, every time we hit an enemy, multiple enemies around that one enemy will just simply die. And if not, then they're gonna die from the next few swings I send out from the Exalted Blade. The fact that every swing with the Exalted Blade sends out a projectile makes this build absolutely insane, because you can literally just find a certain position in the map and kill the enemies through the wall. You don't even have to get hit, you just simply melee them. Though me personally, I much prefer running around and just meleeing everything, because that's just the way I like to use this build, and it's just absolutely fun for me. But once again, feel free to let me know what you guys think of this build down in the comments. Real quick before the video ends, of course, I will go over the mod setup for those who are interested. So let's go ahead and begin. I feel like I should actually start with the Exalted Blade itself, because obviously this is the star of the build right here. As you guys can see, I got a 48% crit chance on this weapon with a 140% status chance. How do you get the status chance so high on this weapon? It's actually very simple. All you have to do is have the augment mod for the weapon on Excalibur, and it works quite well. And while we're talking about Excalibur, this is my Excalibur mod setup, which may be questionable to a lot of people, but thanks to this combo of mods, I'm able to cook with Excalibur no problem, and honestly just have a field day. 3 augment mods is pretty wild, and I've been told I'm pretty crazy for getting rid of one of the Umbral slots on Umbra Excalibur, but at the end of the day, I would just rather the 3 augment mods rather than the 3 Umbral mods. I don't even use the armor because I have fast deflection, so I can get my shield back and just focus on the shield recharge. And let's say, you know, I lose all my health and my shields are recharging, right? But I'm still taking damage. All I literally have to do is activate slash dash, and while the ability is active, I'm immune to all damage, so I can get my shields back easily and stay alive easily on top of that. And then rolling guard is for the toxin effects, and honestly it just helps me with invulnerability as well. But yes, chromatic blade is definitely peak for this build, because not only does it give you that 300% status chance, it changes the Exalted Blade's damage type based on Excalibur's emissive color. And obviously, if you can't tell by the drip, by the way, rate my drip down in the comments. I think this shit looks beautiful, especially when you know, I just hold out the Exalted blade like that. But yeah, as you can see, my emissive is electricity, and on the Exalted blade itself, I actually modded electricity. And if I haven't made this obvious already, this is definitely not the best Exalted blade build in the game either, though I'd like to think this is a pretty damn good one for melee influence. 20% chance for elemental melee status effects to apply to enemies within 20 meters whenever you get that electricity status. I threw on condition overload for extra damage whenever I use my other weapons and apply more statuses, and just so I can get a little bit more electricity damage. Blood Rush is good for the extra crit chance since I'm going to be building up the combo counter, and by that same logic, Weeping Wounds is good just so I can get even more status chance and apply a lot of electricity. And Melee Elementalist is just good for extra status damage and extra heavy attack wind-up speed. Honestly, I feel like you could replace this mod with a lot of things, but I threw it on there because, I don't know, I kind of like it. It works. And yeah, I do have Nourish on my Excalibur as well. This just helps me stay alive and keep Exalted Blade active at all times. May not be the most creative helmet ability to put on him, but that shit gets the job done, so I have zero complaints. And on top of that, it puts Viral on my Exalted Blade too, so it's really nice. And lastly, I do have 5 Archon shards on my Excalibur. All of them are purple, and 4 of them actually give me melee crit damage, but this last one over here acts as an equilibrium. Surprisingly, it's super clutch, and honestly, I don't even mind the fact that it's just 20%. It really helps. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Like I said, let me know what you guys think of this build down in the comments. It's not the best build in the world or anything like that, but it's a pretty damn fun one, and if you're looking for a pretty fun Excalibur build and haven't made a build similar to this, I highly recommend it. Plus, I mean, dude, just running around cooking with Exalted Blade is so fun, and seeing all the electricity procs go off is so nice. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. I'm trying to grow the channel a lot more. I got a lot more build videos on the way and just a lot more Warframe content in general, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Keep your head up and stay positive. And with all that being said, thanks for watching. Have a good one.